Hey y'all, I'm doing this from my bedroom. I'm at home. Y'all know that Beth and I can't have children, and we fell in love with Cavalier King Charles, and we have two of them. This is one. This is Mollie. Mollie's our little girl. We have a little boy named Java. He's in another room. He didn't want to come back here. And we fell in love with them, and I'm gonna see if I can position this down a little better. Our bed's a wreck, and that ain't showing. Come up here, Mollie. And Mollie is 8. She'll be 9 this month, April 2019. She'll be 9, and she's been with us since she was a little baby. And Java is actually her son. We have some friends that show AKC Cavaliers, and we got Mollie from them, and we bred her to one of their show dogs, and we got our male from that litter. She only had 3 puppies. She had 2 girls and 1 boy, and they all survived. One went to, I believe, somewhere around Jackson, Mississippi, and the other one went to a family in Mobile. And let me see if I can move this down some more. The other, we called them Big Girl and Little Girl because the big girl was really big compared to the smaller one. And Big Girl went to a family in Mobile, and Little Girl went to a family in Jackson, Mississippi. But Big Girl was living with this family in Mobile, and the dad bought it for the daughter to carry it back to school with her. She was going, or I don't know if she's still up in there, but she was going to school near Washington, D.C. And we found out that Big Girl ran out the front door or something one day and went out the road chasing a car, and she got ran over and killed. I don't know about the little girl. I'm assuming she's still around Jackson, Mississippi. Java, we still have Java. Java's with us. I'm gonna tell you something. You can't have kids, but I never, and this may sound silly, but I love these babies like they're my own children. And I wouldn't trade them for the world. But when Beth and I got married, I had a really big Himalayan cat, and I left him with my mom and dad. They lived in Opp, Alabama at the time. They've moved back out into the country, to their country land now. His name was Sammy, and I did not carry him to Mobile when I moved to Mobile. I left him. Let me see if I can lift her up a little more. Pull this pillow over. Up, up, up. There you go. Come here. Let's see. Let's see. When I moved to Mobile, Beth, my iPhone watch is ringing. But anyway, when I moved to Mobile, I left Sammy with my parents in Opp, and Sammy was Himalayan, and he weighed about 25 pounds. He was huge. We didn't have any pets in Mobile, and I wanted a dog. I love dogs. Obviously, I've got 2. We went over to Biloxi, Mississippi one night to, I believe we were at the Grand Casino, and I had a big jackpot. And we put some of that money back, and I told my wife, I said, this is what we're going to use to buy our dog. So we looked for the dog we wanted, and we came across a Cocker Spaniel. And I had had a couple of Cocker Spaniels before. So we went and we looked at this litter of Cocker Spaniels, and there was one buff male in the group, just one buff in the whole group. And which, if you're not familiar with buff is a blonde color. And the others, I want to think they were black and tan. I can't remember now. This has been 20 years ago almost. So wound up buying that male Cocker Spaniel, and his name, I called him Spunky. He's since deceased. We had him the whole time we lived in Mobile, and we had him about 4 years probably after we moved back home. So Spunky had a good life. But while we were living in Mobile, I took a job, and I was going to be gone from home quite a bit, and for like a week at the time, frequently. And I told my wife, I said, I want to get you a dog that you're going to feel comfortable having around if something were to come about while I'm not home. So we went and we bought a German Shepherd, and his name was Beau. I spelled it B-E-A-U-X. And that was my buddy. He was my man. And Spunky was more towards Beth. Beau was more of me. And that's just the way they've split. Spunky went more towards Beth, and Beau leaned toward me, and that's just the way we had it. And we moved back home. I had a sport track at the time, and he would ride around with me, and the back window on the sport track would go down. I would let that window down, and he'd just hang his head out that back window, and I'd drive him all over town. And I loved that old boy. And I come home and found him dead outside one day, and it really hurt my heart. I had before he died, about 4 years or so, we bought a Jeep Wrangler Unlimited, and I'd let that soft top back, and I'd lay the back seat down, and he'd sit in the back area, and I would drive him all over Enterprise. And he was a good dog, and protective. I can't even begin to describe how protective that dog was. But I found him dead one day. We had him cremated. He's in our curio cabinet. I just absolutely miss him a lot, and I want another one eventually, but I don't know how long it'll be before I ever break down and do that. But our friends had Cavaliers, and Beth wanted a lap dog, and I was like, okay, we'll get you a house dog. And sorry, I didn't realize my shirt was pulled down. Our friends had 3 puppies available at the time. They had gone to Montgomery to a dog show and had a litter born while they were there, which was Mollie's litter. And Lee brought over the 3 puppies they had available. They had 2 girls and a boy. And I've always had boy dogs. I've never owned a girl dog. And I was kind of leaning toward a boy if they had one. But this was going to be for Beth. And I wanted her to really pick because it was for her. So Lee brings the puppies over, and we go out in our backyard, and she lets them run free and run around and play while Beth looks at them and talks, and we discuss which one she likes. And we were standing, our back deck is 2 levels. We have one that's even to the back of the house, and then you go down a couple steps to a little bit smaller, but a big deck too. And then we had steps going down to the yard. We were standing up on that lower deck looking over at the puppies in the yard running around playing. And one was a black and tan female. One was Mollie, which is a Blenheim and white. And the boy was Blenheim and white. And he was really chunky. But Lee was going let us have the black and tan a little bit cheaper. So we were really looking at her. And I asked Beth, and I tell Molly this story all the time, and Beth gets annoyed with me when I do. I asked Beth, I said, Beth, which one do you like? I said, I know which one I like. I said, but I want you to pick and tell me which one you like. And she said, I like the little red and white girl. Well, we didn't know the correct term was Blenheim until after we'd gotten them. I said, well, that's the one I'm looking at. So our friend gave us a discount for her. We didn't pay what people, I would say, from the outside pay, meaning people that contact them to purchase that they don't know. We did get a significant discount because Cavaliers are very expensive, but we wanted another one, and Heath and Lee were willing to breed Molly to one of their male show dogs. So when she came in and she was, I think Molly was about 2.5 years old. Oh, she was over 2. We waited till she was at least 2. And we bred her to Winston, and they had their litter of puppies, and that's how Java came to be. And Java's the same color, and he looks a lot like her. He's just got a little bit bigger head and bigger body. He's a little taller and got bigger head and bigger body, but they're the same color. And this one, when Beth is not here, I'm here during the day a lot by myself. This one takes to Papa and has gotten to where she sits with Poppy when Mommy's not home and when Mommy's home. But she's kind of split between us when Beth is home, but when Beth is not home, she is all over me. Java is a different story. He won't sit still. I try to keep him on the bed. We've tried to let him sleep on the bed with us at night. He will not stay still. He wants to roam. He is a roamer. So he technically is not a bed pup at night. He stays in his own areas doing his own thing. But I love both of them. And if anything, or when something happens to them, if I'm still alive, it's going to tear my heart out of my chest. But I wanted to share our babies with y'all. Well, one of them, the other one's not in here. But I love them. I'm going to tell you something. I don't know if I'd ever have another small breed dog other than a Cavalier. I am in love with Cavaliers. And I love their faces. I mean, how could you not love that? I mean, how could you not? With their big doe eyes and their cute little snouts. Big dogs, I want another German Shepherd. I absolutely love German Shepherds, and one day I'll have another one. But small dogs, it will be Cavalier all the way. But I love this girl. I can't tell you how much I love her. I just love her. And her mama loves her. We love our boy Java. And I can tell you one thing, these dogs don't go without, and they don't suffer in any kind of way. They get what they want. Now, we don't give them, we give them certain food. They get one type of food, but they may get different meats in that brand, but we don't feed them just anything because I don't want to give them something that might harm them in any way. But I'm gonna go. I just want to share children with you because every time I make a video so far, I've been sitting in my car. But like I said, this one is Molly, and the other one is Java. And Java, Molly is fixing to be 9. Java is 2.5 years younger, so he is he'll be 7 in October. So he's 6, and Molly's 8 right now. But they are 2.5 years apart. But if I could, I would have a house full of these babies. I am not even kidding. If you ever look at them, you're going to fall in love with them. They have the best personalities, the best tempers, or temperament, I think is the word I'm looking for. And how could you not love those ears? But anyway, I'm going to get off here. I'm going to let her go back to sleep because she will lay in my lap all day if I let her. But I'm gonna sign off, but y'all have a good day. I'll be back to see y'all again soon, and I hope you have a blessed day wherever you may be.